Welcome to Thruxton, welcome to the UK's fastest circuit. You need some big old swingers to ride this place. Thankfully, I've got some big old swingers, just offset by a tiny... I was invited by Triumph to race the new Daytona 660 in the National Sports Bike Championship alongside the BSB Circus. We were having an excellent weekend until Sunday, when I ended up under the air fence. Here's the story of my full factory experience. So what is the National Sport Bike Championship? Well, it replaces Junior Superstock, so it's full of 16 to 21-year-olds, and me and Richard Cooper are the only ones doing it for the oldies. So we've got Yamaha R7s, we've got Aprilia RS660s, we've got the Triumphs, we've got Ninja 650s, and we will soon have Hondas and Suzukis and others. And it was also announced yesterday that Germany and Italy are adopting this sort of set of rules for the championship and taking it to their national series as well. So it obviously works. The power of balance is certainly working with the control ECU. So, I mean, I'm going to get my blooming ass whipped. These kids do not give a damn if they go home on Monday morning. I'm just going to see what it's like in the shark pool. And here we go, sports fans. Back on the Triumph, the Daytona 660, and back on the 73. This is my very first motocross number and my very first road race number when I first started road racing. So yeah, here we go. A weekend, fun and frolic. It's my favourite circuit. Factory Triumph Racing. This is full factory effort, this. We're not here for a shit and a haircut. Just look at that linkage. Eagle eye amongst you will spot the potentiometers. So I can't lie. The data doesn't lie. There's potentiometers and sensors and all sorts on this bike. So the happy shopper is now a happy racer. Jumping on a race bike you've never ridden before is a bit like trying on an ill-fitting pair of trainers for the first time. Awkward and difficult to go fast. The working parameters are far narrower and fussier than a road bike. We were half a season behind in terms of setup and confidence, but only had 2 free practice sessions to dial things in before qualifying and race 1 on Saturday. The bike felt decent straight away, but I knew there were areas we could improve on, and I was hopeful the data would back me up. One of the benefits of a full factory setup is having a data and chassis engineer. Arnie is the team's go-to computer guy and analyses all the riders' data after every session, offering setup advice on things like gearing and suspension and everything in between. So we've got a plan tomorrow now, been through all the data. I mean, this is, like I said to you before, I wish I had this when I was a nipper, and I've learned things out there that I didn't even think about, that I just say, right, look, things like line, engine braking. I mean, there's just so much that goes into this, and you know, we're just nibbling the surface here. So but yeah, we've got a plan. We're just debating what spring to go on to, what gearing to run, and just hold the throttle open more. It's easy. So what are we doing here, Dave? We got some fat boy springs in.
We have, yeah.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Are we putting any fuel in as well?
Yeah, might put a drop of fuel in for this one.
What a treat. So yeah, the front was fairly soft. How do you say it?
Yeah.
Biturbo? Bi-turbo?
Bi-turbo.
Bi-turbo?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just means twin tube.
Twin tubes, there we
Yeah.
go. I haven't raced on this stuff in a long time, so it's going to be interesting, but feels good.
Yeah.
So we just got a special delivery here.
Made at the factory.
Is it?
Yeah. E più veloci. Very fast. E più veloci. And I'm going to revalve your damping in the morning as well.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Just to give you initial support. Richard Cooper developed it.
Right.
But Cartagena.
Right.
Richard's not very big.
No.
And very, very smooth. So that's
what are you saying?
That's the result.
Okay.
Which is an epic solution. However,
well,
it needs mirroring to people's requirements.
So this is the Macadam Triumph Racing Daytona 660. Now I rode the road bike. This is my first time on the race bike. First time I've ridden the bike here at Thruxton, so straight into the deep end. Essentially it's a super stock bike. It's a bit more super than super stock. So the rules allow fork changes, so we've got standard outers, we've got standard brakes, standard wheels, but we've got bi-turbo internal, so also different from super stock, bit of an upgrade. You're allowed to change the headstock angle, and you're also allowed to change the linkage at the rear. So again, same, you're allowed to change the shock, it's a completely different shock. The engine must remain standard, the gearbox must remain standard. Obviously you can change the chain, you can change the gearing, the final drive, but everything inside has to remain the same. And obviously just like super stock, you can change rear sets, we've got a full system. So this bike actually makes 98 horsepower, give or take a few. And Triumph actually quote 94, I think, 95 PS, so 94 British horsepower, great British horsepower. But the big thing for this class, it's all about how we control the power. So there's a control ECU and everything is controlled. Every bike on the grid is controlled by that ECU. At the moment, Triumphs get 100%. Some of the other bikes have been slowed down. It's all done on power to balance. So if a bike's dominating, they'll slow it down, and vice versa. If it's not doing very well, then they'll sort of up the horsepower.
So what do you reckon then, boss? How was the day panned out for you?
Not too bad.
Yeah? Are you impressed?
I'm very impressed.
Oh yeah?
The rider's not bad at all.
Oh, okay. That's good to hear. We've got a cheeky Friday evening track walk. We've got some VIPs with us. I don't know what they're all doing. They're taking flipping ages. Jamie Coward, you've never been to Thruxton before?
Never in my life.
That's shocking.
I know, it's terrible.
For a racer like you?
I know, yeah. It's fucking awful, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you reckon? It's proper track, isn't it? It is, isn't it? Come
Might
on.
be different tomorrow. Today was a bit of an eye-opener at first session. Running wide and fucking making a boob a bit, but yeah, I feel like I'm getting to know it a bit better now, and it's weather's good and it suits my style a little bit coming from a road background.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I'm enjoying
None
it.
of this bollocks sort of like tight. Yeah, exactly.
Shit,
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how we go on tomorrow.
I think. So this isn't the M25. This is Church. This is the UK's fastest corner. 130, 140 mile an hour going in, easy. And even we're flat out in sixth until about here. I've been here in 8 years, and the bumps have got significantly nastier on the apex, and it's a little bit scary. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit hairy.
Morning, it's qualifying now. It's a bit overcast actually, a bit surprising. And we've got a race this afternoon as well. So my goal is to score points. That's what I want to do. I want to score points. I mean, it's going to be tough. I wasn't hanging about yesterday, even though the bike wasn't right. But we turned the bike upside down. We've got a new spring in the back. They even took the forks out and they've re-shimmed them. So the bike originally was set up for Cooper, and that initial part of the stroke on the fork was way too soft for me. So they've taken it out. Batuba have re-shimmed it. So we just got a bit more support on the front, different gearing. So I mean, the bike is going to be completely different. So yeah, top 15, and I'll be happy. That was brutal. That was a bit of a wake-up call, that. I mean, it's all very well in practice, sort of rolling round, taking it steady, finding a rhythm, but that was like welcome to primary school again. It's just like a load of kids just doing this, zigzagging across the track for the first few laps, and I was like, right, one, because I wanted to get a tow. I knew I needed a tow just to help with slipstream in that extra sort of half second. But yeah, in the end, I was like, I came in, had a little bit of a rest, found some clear track, and just got into a really nice rhythm, just to save the tyre a bit, see what I could get away with for the race, because it's quite a long race, 14 laps. And the last lap, I just let them have it and chopped one just over a second off my time and ended up 15th. So that's what we're roughly where we want to be. So yeah. Well, that's it, business time now. This is where it really matters. I'm not sure I can do the times by myself in a pack, but we'll see what happens. I think I've just got to use my head and not get too intimidated. So 14 laps. Luke's just won the Supersport race. We just witnessed the most insane Superbike race. So yeah, no pressure.
And here we are on the grid for race 1 on Saturday. Lights are on and they're off, and it's another mediocre start. Well, not bad considering I've never actually launched a bike previously, only a few practice starts, but too tight up the inside there, too conservative. and we've lost a few places already, but the aim is just to make it through these first few corners without any dramas. I lost my patella there 15 years ago at Thruxton's, probably still there lurking. Thought about a move around the outside there, but you're going to lose and sacrifice way too much, and this is what this circuit's all about. You've got to be smooth and flowing, and people think it's balls to the wall, but it's way more than that. The aim was to settle down and not lose too many positions and just keep the group in tow, because as soon as you lose that tow, you lose the slipstream and it's virtually impossible to get back. Believe it or not, just braking, a little dab of brake there, but until the club chicane, that's it. You don't touch the brake until the club chicane. Trying to run too wide here, literally flat out all the way until church now. Trying to get as much slipstream as we can. They're just edging away slightly into church. Just release the gas. And a little secret for church, if you go slower in and faster out, it's definitely improves your lap time. So not a bad run into the slipstream. But just straight away I knew here, this is the first time I'd seen it, that the gearing was way too short. So we're on the limiter for a good couple of seconds then. But again, like all weekend, make the time up on the brakes. Run a little bit wide, and that thankfully is the end of lap 1 without too many dramas. And believe it or not, that was status quo for the next sort of 10 laps. I didn't have quite enough to overtake them. I was within striking distance but couldn't actually get a move on, so I was in 15th place and yeah, pretty happy. So this is now the penultimate lap, and I've got so much more tyre left than these guys. They are slowing me up big time. So bust a move, lovely up the inside there, but like I said before, it sacrifices exit, and although I have more tyre, I'm also carrying more timber, so up the inside goes that Kawasaki. All is not lost, just keep the toe. I know that I can make some moves into the chicane, but like I said, I had so much more tyre, and this is visible here. I mean, I don't know what I was doing right or wrong, but yeah, I had so much more grip than the guys in front, and it was desperation times now. There's no way I'm going to make it up the inside of church, so just back down, slow in, fast out. And thankfully I managed to get a really nice drive and into the slipstream and make the move. Don't want to mess that up, run wide, late on the brakes, just pray the front doesn't tuck it in. Oh, nearly perfect. Right, now what am I going to do for the rest of them? So this is now the final lap, and like I said, things are getting desperate, so I've really only got one place to overtake, so I need to make sure I'm in striking distance, get all the hard work done beforehand. See them just edging away slightly, but again, the concertina effect on the brakes. This corner is vital, so get on the gas as early as you can. The rear is spinning, even on these little bikes with 98 horsepower. Spinning and spinning and spinning. Get the drive. I'm thinking, right, okay, this is it now. Nice, slow in, fast out. Got a really nice drive. And into the slipstream, double slipstream. Here we go. Get a bog off deal here? No. Round the outside of Joe, but unfortunately, as you can see, I just run a little bit wide and sacrifice the exit, and damn, there he is, there's Joe. So I was 13th, but I finished 14th, and very happy with that.
Well, if someone said to me I'd have points in the first race in this back in the British Championship paddock, and with these absolute nutters, then I would snap your arm off. I mean, I'm really chuffed. I mean, there's always a racer in you. You're like, oh, I could have had 10th. I should have had 10th, but there we go. No excuses. I just lacked a bit of racecraft, but I'm happy, really happy. So we can move on tomorrow. Look at some data tonight. Get Arnie the technician, the genius, to work some things out and come back swinging tomorrow. But yeah, super chuffed, really, really, really chuffed, and I'm going to celebrate with a glass of wine tonight. See you tomorrow.
How good does the flow look? I particularly like this bad boy. Looks so good in pictures. I mean, I look like a Usain Bolt riding a Shetland pony, but there we go.
So Thruxton has been kind to me. I think 17 years ago, I was still on this podium twice in one day for the Supersport Cup and the KTM Super Duke R Battle, which was bonkers race. I won the Super Duke and got third in the Supersport Cup. It's been 7 years since I raced, up until the point where I got back into the paddock last year, and I've had a year off this year, and I'm telling you, like, I've said it before, mentioned before, and people have sort of joked about it, but there has to be some sort of recognised PTSD for giving up racing or retiring from racing, because you spend your whole life chasing temps, literally my whole life chasing temps, and you come to a stop and it's like, what's the next? What's the next adrenaline rush? What's the next kind of high? And yeah, it's a bonkers thing. And being back in this paddock has kind of reignited that flame, and I'm happy again, waking up happy. So not that I've been sad, but anyway.
And here we are on the grid for race 2 on Sunday. I think you all know what's coming up, but here we go. Lights are on, lights are off, and it's a not a bad start, I've got to say. Used a bit more revs and let the clutch out a bit more vigorously. A bit too conservative going to the first corner, but still in a tow, and that's the most important thing here. Stay in a pack, stay in a tow, stay in a slipstream, and don't let the little buggers get away. Just see a guy on the outside of me there, coming now on the inside of the chicane, and just run it a bit too hot in there. I wanted to keep him behind me, but no luck on that front. And this is still the first lap, exiting Church. Look at this for a run. Look at this for a slipstream. And this is where you find out where your gearing's still wrong, still hitting the limiter, pull out the slipstream, and he edges away from you. I thought about around the outside, but no, I just get tagged here. And I don't think it was Jack who ends up in the tyre wall, but I'm still not entirely sure what happened. I banged my head pretty hard, and way harder than I initially thought, and I was out for about a minute. And the TV footage is pretty scarce, but all I know is I got tagged from behind. But like I said, I don't think it was Jack, because that would have been a proper plane crash. But I'm just glad everyone's relatively okay. Shit happens, we move on.
Broken my hand, 2 metacarpals, whatever they are, the 2 bones there. Bit of a bang to the head, but I'm fine. Just pissed off, because that, I knew before the race this is what you signed up for, and shit happens. But it sounds like it was pretty much. I saw Cooper and a couple of others crash, and saw Coops in the medical centre. So bit of a war zone out there. But all that's left for me to say is a massive thank you to Triumph, to Macadam Racing, and it's been an unbelievable weekend. I mean, shit end to the weekend, but to score points, like I said before, I'm just blown away. And thank you guys for watching. I'll probably do a little VO once I've got back home and thought about things more. But yeah, thank you to the whole team, because they've been like I said, every time we've gone out on the bike, we've got better and faster. And see you next time. I won't be doing any editing for a while.